My parents came from Ontario. I know my mom came from London, Ontario. I think my dad was from Napinka, Manitoba, something like that. And so they were married in 1925, I believe, and I was born in 1929. I was born in Victoria, BC, at the Royal Jubilee Hospital. I am the eldest of now 3 girls. My sister, Claire, is 21 months younger than me, and then Brenda, she was born 18 years later. So that's why I don't regard Brenda as a sister. She's more like you would your child. I had a great childhood. My parents were super. We went camping every weekend. We went camping in a tent. Just to tell you how I was when I went to school, I did very well at school. In grade 6, there were 2 of us that came first in the grade. And they had to put us both first because our marks ended up exactly. That was my best year. After that, I guess it was downhill from there. Anyway, I never left Vancouver Island until I got married. I was strictly an island girl. So that's about what I remember growing up, going fishing every Sunday with my dad. And so I met Grandpa because I was working at the motor vehicle branch in Victoria for 3.5 years. And then he came there. He came there to work. He was going to be a driver's examiner. When we worked at the motor vehicle branch, he was swimming then. And so he was practicing for the Olympics. So every day, we would go to the Crystal Gardens in Victoria, and I'd watch him go up and down and up and down. In all the time we were going, which was 14 months, I think, before we were married, I went out for dinner once to a restaurant in Sydney. The rest of the time, he never took me anywhere. So it had to be love to stand for all that boredom because I don't even like swimming. So that's what we did. We went there every night and then he would take me home. Oh, Grandpa was a Christian from when he was 12 years old or something like that at a camp. Yep. And me, I was a heathen. He went with me. He took me out, and I was not a Christian. I'd been to church a few times, United Church. And his parents, of course, were up in arms. They had this really nice girl for him. She was about the opposite from me as you could get. I would say she was dowdy. Sturdy shoes, you know, I'm wearing high heels. She has Oxford types, no makeup, plain hair and everything. Well, that did not go over with him. So anyhow, he took me out, and I think it was the first, he took me to his church, a gospel hall, and I was saved that first day. And he had told the Lord that if I don't become a Christian right away, that was it. So the Lord honored it. And I became a Christian right off the bat. I had to leave home to get married. I had the crummiest wedding in all the world, I think. I wore a blue lace dress because Grandpa liked blue. So I picked that, and I was married in a gospel hall. So I had the the wedding, and then Grandpa and I left at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we took the bus and went to Spokane, Washington, and all we did was walk up and down the street in Spokane for our honeymoon. We had no money, so that started out. That was the way we started married life. You don't need a lot of money, but I think we had the happiest marriage ever. We really did. So our 25th wedding anniversary, they had a perfect wedding for me. They had a pastor friend, and we had the reception, and we had everything just like I wanted. We had guests, and it was put on beautifully by the kids. And then we went on they sent us on a honeymoon, and we had a big placard on the back of our car, which was Mercury, the Mercury that we had for a long time. And it said, "Just married, 25 years" on the back as we went on the honeymoon. And then after we were married a short time, he re-enlisted back into the Air Force. So that was, we left town then and went back to Montreal, Quebec. And we were in Saint-Hubert, and then we were there, and then we were there for a year, and then we got posted overseas to France. And it was, Gary was born when we were in Victoria. Well, we decided we wanted 4 kids. So we decided, do you want fast pain or slow pain? We decided fast pain. So we had 4 kids in 5 years. Gary, we'd picked Gary before because I thought it was kind of a cute little name and stuff. And so he was named Gary Russell. And Russell was after my uncle who died, my dad's side. So, but then Earl was born in France. So he was the only French one. Earl is named after my dad, but then he was killed when he was 17 and a half. Gary then came to the forefront where he's been ever since as a leader of the family, and it really made Gary. So that was really good. So then I was left with Gary, and then Linda, and then your mom, Judy. And then Linda, she was born in New Brunswick. I like Linda. Linda was a little hellion, and Grandpa was a disciplinarian. Gary got lickings like you wouldn't believe. That's why Gary is so good. He got a little softer on the girls, because I used to stay around the corner and cry as Gary's getting the licking. Oh dear, poor Gary. That I remember. The girls, oh, he liked girls. They didn't get much, but he had softened a lot by then. So Linda got a lot. Linda was a tough nut. He could spank her. She would determine, grit her teeth. She was not gonna cry. Judy, you just look at her and she starts to cry. So she got off so lucky, that girl. That's the way it went. So, yeah. And then Judy was born back in Victoria. Judy, we had very good friends in the Air Force, and they had a Judith Ann. And I liked the people, and this girl was so pretty. She was the prettiest little thing. And so I liked Judith Ann, so I named your mom Judith Ann. So that's where that came. That I remember. We went camping every weekend. Hal was teaching school. Grandpa was teaching school. So we had the summers free. So he would teach schools in the winter, and as soon as the school year was finished, he would come home and I would have all the food arranged, all cooked and ready, and all the camping gear out, and we took off next day for camping. We did that every year. Well, I think I liked coming out of the tent. We all slept in the tent with sleeping bags on the floor. And then we get out and we have the table there, and we have the cook stove, you know, the 2-burner camping stove, excuse me, on the corner of the table, and just cooking there. The kids are all lined up, both sides of the table there, and that's what I liked. We had really good kids. We had no problems. No, we're blessed. I have traveled everywhere that you could travel. I've been all over the world. So blessed. I don't need to see anything more. That's why I'm content to stay here with Pancho. Yeah. But I have no desire to go to any of those places and see them. In fact, I don't want to travel anymore anyhow, without him, by myself anymore. Grandpa told the Lord that for every grandchild or great-grandchild, we'd take an orphan. And I'm now up to, how many? 14, 15, 16. I got a couple more coming up. I figured I had to carry it on anyhow, so they're all there, all through World Vision. So I'm happy. No regrets.